Well, you guys were right. You guys were right. I did a video the other day on talking about how I had signed up and submitted applications to the state of Arkansas that is now allowing people to receive funding and state funding and tax dollars for their homeschooling or private school and other things like that. And I was like, wow, this is a great way to get some of my tax money back, because you pay all your life into the system. And if you don't have kids in public school and you homeschool out of your own pocket, it'd be great to get some of those tax dollars back. And some of you lots of you left comments. Zach, it's a trick. It's a trap. Don't fall for it. They're gonna do a switch and bait and switch. Yes, they in fact did. Now, when I signed up for this, there was nothing on the website about, at least not that I could see, glaring at me, because I would have immediately said no once I saw that. But there was nothing on the website that said, hey, there's going to be mandatory testing at the end of the school year. There was nothing on the website that I saw. There was nothing on the agreement, the short, small agreement that they had. And I was like, oh, this sounds perfect. I'm going to submit my receipts for my curriculum, and I'm going to get reimbursed for my money. Some of you left comments, Zach, this is an open door you do not want to have. I'm like, well, it sounds good to me. Until I see something that, sends me in the other direction, I'm going to go with it. And sure enough, there was a webinar that took place last night. And one of the first thing the guy mentions is, yes, I know lots of you have been asking. There is mandatory testing at the end of the year. And the reason why so many people are asking that is because there was nothing on the mention of the agreement. There was nothing on no mention of this on the website. And so they had heard this, and so they're asking, hey, what's up with this supposed testing? Yeah, there is testing at the end of the year. You have to submit your child to a test. Now, there were lots of, options for that test. You could, there was a whole list of different tests you could, even some from Bob Jones University, I use some of their curriculum. You could take a test from them, but you have to take a test. And immediately I was like, oh no. And, and the way he explained it was, okay, we want to make sure that your child is on the right trajectory. We want to see trajectories going up or sideways. But, if we see trajectories going down, well, then we want to be able to, come alongside you and coach you and all of this stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. To me, it sounds like you just said,
I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Well, now, let me just think of all the ways I can say no.
Never, not in a million years, absolutely not. No way, Jose, no chance, Lance, yet, negatory, nah, and of course my own personal favorite of all time, man falling off of a cliff. No! Oh, Dr. Cox?
So I immediately got back on the website, got to the contact information that they provided, and said, hey, for these two applications, and I gave them the IDs for those two applications, I want to withdraw from your program. I will not be participating. Please remove me from your program. I will not submit to mandatory testing. End of story. And I haven't heard back from them since then, but I would bet they got a lot of people who responded the same way. This is why he mentioned it right off the bat at the beginning of the webinar, because there were a lot of people asking. And I would suspect there's a lot of homeschoolers who also are like, whoa, that's the case? I'm not playing. But Zach, don't you want the $6,000 per child for your school curriculum? No, I do not want that money. I already have 3 jobs. I run 3 companies. I will happily take on even a 4th if I have to remain outside of your control and, coming alongside me for coaching and all that other nonsense. No, I don't want to participate. We already have established that my standards are not your standards. I know people that graduate from the school system here in the county I live in. Personally, I know them, and they can't read. Your standards are not my standards. I want nothing. I don't care if the tests are administered by people whom I do trust, who provide curriculum that I do use. I don't care. I don't want you and me to have any sort of arrangement where you are going to come alongside me and coach. That door has now been closed. I'm not going to participate, and I'm sorry. Many of you were right. I can admit when I have egg on my face. I've been wiping it off all morning, and I think I got most of it out. Getting it out of the beard was the hardest part. But anyway. Oh, yeah. See, there's a number of states out there, guys, who are trying to, they see this momentum for homeschooling. They realize that they have a failing system, and people are jumping ship because the ship is sinking. And so they're trying to do what's best for their children. And in order to lure you back in, at least maybe partially at first, into their system, is to give you money. And as long as there's no strings attached, I'm fine with taking back my tax dollars that I paid for, with money that I earned. But as soon as you start putting strings, even if they're little strings, no, I don't want you to be part of my life. I don't want you to be part of my family's life, my children's life. I don't want you part of my life, because I see that you over and over again prove your failures. There's lots of reasons why I don't have my children in the public school systems. And even if that means, participating in some of the extracurricular activities that the public school system offers, I can do all that on my own. We have a pretty good community here and lots of other homeschoolers in my immediate area, and then also in the surrounding areas that I can have my kids associate with. And, my kids do all kinds of things. They go to summer camps. They go out and they have friends that they go out and they hang out with, and they do all kinds of things with, and take trips and all this stuff. I don't need to be part of your system. So anyway, I'm still cleaning. Make sure there's no egg in my beard because it got all over my face. So I'm sorry about that. And I've learned my lesson. But as soon as I saw that, I'm like, what? Oh, no, we're done. We're done. I didn't think there was going to be any strings. But I don't know the numbers, but I would suspect there's a lot of people out there also who said, no, I'm not playing in the sandbox anymore. It looked like a good sandbox at first, and then you get in the sandbox and you start moving the sand around, and then there's poop all over the place underneath the sand that some cat has been using for a litter box. What do you think? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about all this. Yeah, the states are moving to give you free money, supposedly free money, but there are strings attached, and I thought for sure maybe there wasn't at this time, but I'm going to have a sit down with old Sarah Huckabee Sanders and tell her that this education freedom account nonsense is not really all that free. We're going to have me and Sarah, we're going to have a heart-to-heart. Leave your thoughts. Love to hear your comments below. All right, guys. Hope you have a great weekend. See you next time in the Homestead. Bye. Have you ever gone to a health food store and seen all those small bottles of probiotics in your cooler section? Man, can they be pricey. Are you really getting all you need to improve your gut health from those expensive bottles? How viable are they? Most of those products claim to give you between 8 and 15 strains of gut-healthy healing bacteria. Think of each strain of bacteria as a different factory in your gut. Each factory is responsible for breaking down that food in its own way. The more factories you have, the more the food is broken down and the easier the food is absorbed and digested by the body. A 2018 study published by the National Library of Medicine shows that one fermented head of cabbage can produce up to 114 strains of beneficial bacteria. That's a lot more food factories than you're getting from that expensive pill bottle. And that's just cabbage. Imagine the probiotics when you add garlic, onions, pepper, and more to that ferment. PerfectPickler.com and its home fermentation kits provide you with everything you need to get started making your own gut-healthy food factories from the comfort of your own kitchen. PerfectPickler.com even provides a jam-packed recipe book with many of our kits. Visit PerfectPickler.com and start fermenting your own veggies to begin your journey to better gut health. That's PerfectPickler.com. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.